All right, good morning, everyone. We're moving on to lesson 1-5 of 7th grade, add and subtract rational numbers. So here we have sea level, which is always at 0, and then we see a summit, which is represented by the green dot or point, and we see the magma reservoir, which is represented by the orange point. So we have to find the distance between them. And yes, the answer is on the screen, which is fine, but we're going to show how far to get from the green point to the orange point. So first, let's look at the green point. I'll make my color green. So let's identify where that summit is located. So it looks like it's right in the middle of 2 and 3. So right in the middle of 2 and 3, because it's 2 lines up, I could tell that is 2 2/4, which is the same as 2.5. So my green dot right there is at 2.5. Now I'm going to find where the orange point is. My orange point appears to be in between -2 and -3, so I know it's at -2, and it is 3 tick marks down out of the 4, so that is -2 3/4. So I know that I have my summit at 2.5, and I know that I have my reservoir 2.5, we'll say feet, or sorry, 2.5 miles above my sea level, and I know the reservoir is 2 3/4 miles below sea level. So even though we have a negative number, we're going to come back to that later. So first, I know summit to sea level. Let's start moving down. I'll start using a highlighter maybe. No, actually, let's use a blue arrow. So to go down, I know I have to travel 2.5 miles down. But then I want to keep going further down. So let's change the colors. If I want to keep going further down, I have to go down another 2 3/4. So I am essentially going down 2.5 miles plus 2 3/4 miles, because I'm going all the way from the top down to the bottom. So I'm going down 2.5 plus 2 3/4. So we must make them a common denominator, my mixed numbers, to have a common denominator. Otherwise, we can't add them. So 2.5 is the same as 2 2/4. You just times or multiply by 2, the numerator and denominator. So 2 2/4 plus 2 3/4, and with the use of a calculator, if we could do this by our hand, we get 5 1/4 miles, and that is our answer, 5 1/4. So 2 2/4 plus 2 3/4, we traveled from the top of the summit down to the bottom of the reservoir, where the reservoir was at. We traveled 5 1/4 miles. Okay, example 2. The force of gravity added to the force of thrust is the combined force at work on a model rocket. What is the combined force? So here it says use commutative property and additive inverses as a strategy to add. So let's figure this one out. So I see 1.5, and that's thrust going upwards, and gravity is always pulling things down or pulling us down. So it's negative 0.49 newtons, which is just a type of measurement. So they're pulling against each other. So it looks like the thrust is going to be stronger because it's a higher number, or higher absolute value at least. So we must get them both into the same form, make them both decimals or both fractions. I think the easiest is to make them both decimals, because we should know 1 1/2 is the same as 1.5. So that makes things easier if they are the same decimal, or is both fractions. So I know that my 1.5 is being subtracted by 0.49, because they're working in opposite directions. So we could just do 1.5 minus 0.49, or the question asks us to turn it into additive inverses. So we're going to do what we did in the last lesson. We're going to do same, opposite, opposite. So I'm going to do 1.5 same, opposite is plus, and then I want to turn my positive 0.49 into negative. So the purple and the green are the exact same. 1.5 plus negative 0.49, same thing. And then we are going to, now to solve it, we can actually subtract them and keep the one with the bigger absolute value. So we're going to do 1.5 minus 0.49, and that is equal to 1.01, which I'll draw up here. 1.01. 0.01. Let's not forget the decimal point. Put it right there. And now we have to think, is it positive or negative 1.01? And to determine that, let's find the absolute value of this one is 1.5. Absolute value of this one is 0.49. So I know that this guy is bigger, so I'm going to keep it positive. My answer is 1.01. By the way, yes, we could have just subtracted these two to get 1.01, what I'm circling right now. You would have got the same answer. But I did the green ink. Over here just to show us that we could do additive inverses, which means we could do same, opposite, opposite. You still get 1.01 no matter what, newtons. Okay, last but not least, Ruby looks over the edge of her boat and sees fish 0.4 meters below the surface of the water. If Ruby holds a 1 meter long net at 0.5 meters above sea level, can she reach the fish? So let's see. So she's about half a meter or 0.5 meters. That's the blue dot right up here. She is up here. And the fish with our red point, they're down here. So we have to first see how far her top of the boat is, or where her net starts, or where her arms are right now in this picture. Her arms are right here. We have to figure out, can she reach it with this net? So let's first figure out, same as question number 1. So I know I have to go down 0.5 meters just to get down to the 0. I have to go down 0.5. And then we have to go down an additional 0.4 meters to get down to where the fish are. So I'm going to just do 0.5 plus 0.4 to get all the way from the top all the way down to the fish. And then that is equal to 5 tenths plus 4 tenths is equal to 9 tenths, or 0.9. So that is how far apart they are. Will her 1 meter fish net reach? Yes, of course her 1 meter, because 1 meter, I keep choosing the wrong color, 1 meter is bigger than 0.9 meters, so she will definitely be able to reach these fish. Yes, she will, because 1 meter, it'll actually go 0.1 meters past the fish, which is good, so she can reach the fish, and she can hopefully scoop them up, or reel them in, we should say. So, hope this helps.